Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a loop? So maybe you keep ending up in the same kind of unhealthy relationships, or you find yourself making the same career mistakes over and over again. It feels like you're starring in a movie you've already seen, and you know the ending is painful, but you can't seem to change the script. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and it's definitely not because you enjoy the pain. There's a powerful psychological reason behind this pattern. And today, we're going to dive deep into why our minds cling to familiar suffering and, more importantly, how we can start to break free. So why does this happen? The simple answer is that our brains are wired for familiarity. Even if that familiarity is painful, it feels safer to our subconscious mind than the unknown. Think of it like walking a path in a dark forest. You know, one path has some thorns and mud puddles, but you've walked it 100 times. You know what to expect. A new, unknown path might lead to a beautiful clearing, but it could also lead off a cliff. Your survival instinct tells you to stick with the path you know, even if it hurts. This is a concept in psychology known as repetition compulsion. It's the unconscious tendency to repeat traumatic events or circumstances, not because we want to suffer, but because our mind is trying to gain mastery over the original trauma. It's as if a part of you is thinking, "This time, I'll get it right. This time I'll fix it. Let's get more specific." This often starts in childhood. The emotional environment we grew up in becomes our blueprint for what feels normal. If you grew up with a parent who is emotionally distant, you might find yourself repeatedly drawn to partners who are unavailable. It's not a conscious choice. Your subconscious is seeking the familiar emotional landscape of your childhood. It's hoping to finally get the love and validation you didn't receive back then. The mind is trying to heal an old wound by recreating the original scene. The problem is, you're casting new people in old roles, expecting a different outcome, but the script remains the same. The partner you chose for their familiarity is, by definition, unlikely to give you the different result you crave. It's a frustrating, self-perpetuating cycle. Another major factor is our core beliefs. These are the fundamental truths we hold about ourselves, others, and the world, often formed when we're very young. If you have a core belief that says "I'm not worthy of love," or "I always get abandoned," your mind will act like a detective, constantly seeking evidence to prove that belief true. It's a phenomenon called confirmation bias. You'll unconsciously filter your experiences, paying more attention to situations that confirm your negative belief and ignoring those that contradict it. So, if you believe you're unlovable, you might subconsciously sabotage a healthy relationship or misinterpret your partner's actions as proof that they are going to leave you. You're not just replaying a pattern, you're actively co-creating it, based on a script you wrote about yourself a long time ago. So how do we break out of this cycle? It sounds daunting, but the most powerful first step is simply awareness. You can't change a pattern you don't know exists. Start by becoming a curious observer of your own life. When you feel that familiar pull toward a person or situation that you know will likely end in pain, don't judge yourself. Instead, get curious. Ask yourself, what does this feeling remind me of? Where have I felt this before? This isn't about blaming your past or your parents. It's about understanding the origin of your programming. Journaling can be an incredible tool here. Write down your feelings, your relationship patterns, your repetitive anxieties. As you put it on paper, you'll start to see the connections emerge from the fog of your subconscious. The pattern, once invisible, starts to take shape right before your eyes. Once you have that awareness, the next step is to consciously choose a different response. This is where the real work begins, and it can feel incredibly uncomfortable. Remember that dark forest? This is the moment you decide to take one step onto that new, unknown path. It will feel scary. Your entire nervous system might scream at you to go back to what's familiar. For example, if your pattern is to people-please to avoid conflict, the new response might be to set a small boundary. Maybe it's saying no to a small request you'd normally say yes to. It will feel terrifying at first, like you're doing something fundamentally wrong. But when the world doesn't end, you've just given your brain a tiny piece of new evidence. Hey, I set a boundary, and I was still okay. Maybe that new path isn't so scary after all. Each time you choose a new action, no matter how small, you are carving out a new neural pathway in your brain. You're literally rewiring your mind. This process is not a quick fix. It's a journey of self-discovery and healing that takes patience and a lot of self-compassion. There will be times when you slip back into old patterns. It's not failure, it's part of the process. When it happens, don't beat yourself up. Just notice it, acknowledge it with kindness, and recommit to trying again. Think of it like learning a new language. You wouldn't expect to be fluent overnight. You'll make mistakes, use the wrong words, and feel clumsy. But with consistent practice, it becomes more natural. Healing these deep-seated patterns is the same. Every conscious choice, every moment of awareness, is a step toward fluency in a new, healthier way of being. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. In fact, trying to unpack deep-seated trauma by yourself can be overwhelming. Working with a therapist or a counselor can be transformative. A good therapist provides a safe space for you to explore these patterns without judgment. They can help you identify your core beliefs and give you tools and strategies to challenge them. They act as a guide on that new path, holding a lantern so you can see a little more clearly and feel a little less afraid. Seeking professional help is a sign of immense strength, not weakness. It's an investment in your own well-being and your future happiness. The key takeaway from all of this is that while your past has shaped you, it does not have to define your future. These painful loops are not your destiny. They are learned patterns, and anything that can be learned can be unlearned. It starts with the courage to look inward, the compassion to forgive yourself for past mistakes, and the commitment to choose a different path, one small step at a time. You have the power to write a new script for your life, one where you are not just a character replaying old scenes, but the author of a new and fulfilling story. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this has shed some light on those frustrating patterns and given you a sense of hope and empowerment. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on psychology and self-growth. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.